If you're just relying on your motivation to help you build habits and maintain them, that is literally the exact opposite as one of the most popular books on habits recommends, Atomic Habits. If you've been trying to build these habits long term and it still hasn't worked, you need a new plan, and it is easier than you think. There are 4 crucial steps to building the habits that we've been trying to for years. I am breaking them all down in this video and showing you how you can apply these lessons to your life. To start, we need to know what goals to set. What habits could you implement in your day-to-day life that would completely transform how your life even looks like? That's personal to you, so I really want you to pick things that you feel will fulfill you, not random habits that you saw some guru online saying transformed your life, or something you're doing for other people, because you won't have a strong why. So step 1, make it obvious. All right, now slow down there, Tiger. Before we even get you into the habit of doing it yourself, there's some back work that we need to do, okay? So this step is all about making the habit as obvious in your environment and to you as you possibly can. We have a relationship with everything around us. What do I mean by that? Do you ever notice that when you try and work from your bed, you end up getting a bit sleepier? It's because something triggers in our brain that bed is for sleeping. We've already created that association. Every object that you are constantly in contact with in your home, in your work, it nudges you to move in a certain direction, to think a certain thing because of the habits and routines that you've already created around that object. Now, this can work for us or against us. So the first thing we need to do is optimize our environment for success. We're gonna do that by putting your fruit out on a nice bowl in front of the table instead of hidden away in your fridge. We're gonna do that by putting gym clothes right beside your bed so it's the first thing you see when you wake up. My favorite part about this technique is that you don't actually have to do anything. All you do is prep your environment, and future you is gonna have to worry about actually doing the habit itself. So it kind of gets you off the hook. All you need to do is the prep work, and that's the only responsibility you have for now. You're free. So go ahead and create as many of these nudges as you possibly can in your environment. Now with this, you want to make this as obvious as you possibly can. Like, you want the habit in your face so that there's no way to ignore it. You're at least thinking about it, even if you don't act on it just yet. And that's all you have to do. You don't have to worry about the next step because I'm breaking that down for you as well. Another technique with making it obvious is habit stacking. So if there's already a routine that you do, for example, brushing your teeth, hopefully you put another habit on top of it so that when you do one, you associate it with the other one and you're kind of getting used to doing both of them at once. For example, if you're walking a dog, listening to a podcast, so that way it's just what you normally do, one goes with the other. Now, with all of the ways to build a habit, there's also the exact opposite, right? Because if we're trying to build a habit, that means we're trying to let go of a bad habit. So I'm gonna be teaching that as well. The opposite is true with making it obvious. If there is something you want to quit or stop doing, make it as hidden as you possibly can. I'm talking put that chocolate all the way in the back of your pantry so that you have to like dig through things to find it. That means unplugging your TV so you have to manually plug it in every time you want to watch it. You know, it's not big things, they're just tiny little things that make it slightly inconvenient for you to go ahead with it. A lot of times we're running on autopilot without even noticing it. So that just breaks the cycle of you running on autopilot because now you're forced to think like, oh, I'm gonna watch TV, right? Do I wanna watch it? Yeah. Like, you just having that awareness can already make a huge change, and that's all you want. Like, you really just want to be able to pop out because whatever it is that you love doing, it feels good, huh? You get a little dopamine hit. So now we need to make it so annoying for you to do it that you give up halfway. Maybe not every time, but just enough to break the cycle. Number 2, make it attractive. Now, what I'm about to share with you is so powerful. Some of it is going to be straight from the book. So the author highlights the fact that a lot of times we adopt habits that are praised from our community because we have such a strong desire to fit in. And of course, belong to a tribe. So if you're trying to build a habit that everyone in your community has, it makes it a lot easier. If you're in a sales company and everyone idolizes the top sales crew, who do you want to be? What do you want to do? You want to be part of the top sales crew. Because if a habit can get us approval, praise, and respect, that is what we are going to go after. So one of the best things you can do is join a group where the habit that you're trying to instill is the normal. If you want to start reading more and you attend a weekly book club, it's gonna get pretty awkward if you're not out here reading and every week goes by and you have nothing to share with the group. The normal behavior of the tribe often overpowers the desired behavior of the individual. Most days, we'd rather be wrong with the crowd than be right by ourselves. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, I know it was silly, but like, can you understand how powerful that is? We would rather be wrong with a group than be right by ourselves. That is how much we value community. So if your community, if everyone is drinking, smoking, sleeping in, not doing any of the habits that you're looking to do for your life, that is going to be your normal. And if you stop drinking, if you stop smoking and doing everything, like, it's literally gonna be frowned upon. And it's gonna be a lot harder for you to maintain the habits that you want to achieve if what you're doing is literally frowned on by the society around you. So that also goes into like choose your friends wisely and everything like that. And if you have a lot of habits that you're trying to break or that you want to build and you see that no one in your top 5 has that, that should be an indicator that that is influencing you. Just a tad, just a tad. I am loving reading books and breaking it down for you guys. So if this is the type of content that you want to see, anything in the self-development space, make sure to like and subscribe down below, because this is the type of content that I am doing. I want us to be winning out here together. In this step, you can also upgrade your habit stacking. What do I mean by that? I mean, you can play around with it now. You can pair with a task that you need to get done anyway. So, okay, I'm gonna leave to go to work. I'm gonna make sure I put my clothes in the washing machine. I'm not even gonna run it. I'm just gonna put my clothes in the washing machine. That's all I need to do. Everything in this book is around tiny little habits. It's literally called Atomic Habits. So we're not thinking of completing full tasks here. It's just these tiny little nudges that will get us all the way. You can also do something that you love, like indulge in that chocolate bar or whatever it is before the habit that you are doing. So that way your brain associates these positive feelings with the habit that you're doing. All we're trying to do here is trick the brain, guys, because the brain controls us and we need to control it. And if none of that works, bribe yourself. Yeah, I said it. If you want to watch that new show, make sure you at least open up the notes that you need to study for class. That way you are incentivizing yourself to get whatever you need to done. And it's good because the task that you put for yourself, it's so small, like read 1 page, that you feel rewarded by doing it. Like, oh look, I completed a task, and it's literally like the simplest, smallest task ever, but you feel good about it, and that's what you need. In the beginning stages, like if we're trying to build a long-term habit, it's long-term, right? So we're not thinking of immediate results right now. We're thinking of building that positive association with the habit itself. And of course, we're talking about the bad habits too. So this step is all about making it completely unattractive. If you're trying to stop smoking cigarettes, put your cigarettes in the medicine cabinet. So every time that you pick one up to smoke, you literally see all of the pills and medicines right next to it. So you're constantly reminded like, this is not what I want to be doing for my health. Make it uncomfortable. And reframe the way that you speak about it, so that way instead of thinking of it as a positive event like, oh man, but I love smoking, it feels so good, you start talking about maybe some of the negatives, so that way it isn't being associated with all of these positive feelings and emotions in your body. It's associated more with like a we're not trying to get you to quit forever today. We just want you to start reframing and changing the relationship that you have with this habit. Now 3, make it easy. All these tasks have been easy, right? I hope. We haven't even gotten to the habit, guys. We haven't even gotten to the habit. One of the best ways to make a habit easy is to reduce the amount of steps between you and the habit. You have a split-second moment where you get to decide what it is that you want to do. You're driving home from work, you're tired, but you're still holding on to hope. You had plans to go to the gym after, and now it's a red light, and if you take the left, you're going home, and if you take the right, you're going to the gym, and you're literally internally fighting with yourself as in what you should do and listing out all the reasons why it's okay if you don't go, but you should go because you told yourself you were going to, and it's this internal battle, and boom, the light turns green. What do? We are forced in these situations all the time, and we only have a few seconds until the lazy part of our brain wins and it's like, you're right, we shouldn't do that now. These are the moments of action, and once you commit in this moment to yes, I'm gonna do it, and you take that right and you go to the gym, like it's too late. Now you're just going through the motions of parking, getting your things, going there. So these small moments or dictate literally like the next half hour to an hour of your life, as in what you are going to do from that. Everything you did from planning to prepping your environment comes down to this moment. So we need to make making this decision as easy as we possibly can, so we make the decision that's good for us long term. And we need to understand that this moment right here is what we truly need to master. I don't know if you guys have heard of this one before, but it just made so much sense to me. So have you ever gone to like game night with your friends and you realize you are losing all the time? Like you really can't get a win in. It's one of those nights and you're not having fun. It's so bad, you might even be rethinking of like accepting the invitation to the next game night. Like maybe games just aren't for you. Like it's that kind of night. And on the other hand, you can have nights out where you are winning everything. It's literally not even, I don't want to say it's not a challenge for you, but it's not that exciting. You know the outcome, you know what's gonna happen. At that point, it feels good for the ego, but something about it doesn't feel that great. This is called the Goldilocks zone. You want your task to be easy enough where it's achievable, but you want it difficult enough where when you accomplish or do it, you feel a sense of accomplishment and pride. This is where you want to keep your habits at. The best way to tell if you are out of the Goldilocks zone with your habits is if you haven't hit it in a few days, weeks, months. Now I'm gonna tell you guys what I thought about when I was reading this. I was like, but I have that habit because that is like the standard as to what I want to hit, right? But I have to remember that whatever I'm looking for, that is the end goal. There's no reason why I need to be hitting this right from the start. I can build my way up there. So one of my habits that I wanted to build, and I'm still trying to build, is going to bed at 9 p.m. So in my little habit tracker app, I have 9 p.m. Go to bed 9 p.m. And it's like, I rarely ever hit that. I never get to feel that, that accomplishment and pride of just being like, swoop, I finished it. Yep, that was me. So what do they say to do in a situation like that where you haven't been hitting your habits for a while? Change the habit as to something that is more realistic to you. Maybe that's go to bed at 11 p.m. And then a week later, I'll change it to 10:30 p.m. A week later to 10. And then you slowly start going down like that. So then you build that in. So your original goal, it becomes way easier to hit because you had a game plan to do it. You weren't just trying to go all or nothing and then feel bad about it and then just honestly give up. Because what happens to me if I have a habit that I'm trying to hit and I haven't hit it for like days, weeks, is I don't even take it seriously anymore. It's not even a real habit. Like I have it there on my app or it's like a little reminder written somewhere, but it's not real because I've already not done it for so long. It doesn't hurt me if I don't do it. It's just part of my cycle. So that is what we're trying to avoid. Now the last tip from the step is certainly the easiest, and it is called the 2-minute rule. It means that if any habit takes longer than 2 minutes for you to do, rewrite it. Rewrite the habit. So if your habit is read 20 pages a day, that takes longer than 2 minutes. Take it off, all right? Read a paragraph, read a page, however long it takes, whatever you can do within that 2-minute time frame. Because if anything is longer than 2 minutes, it can get overwhelming. You might think, oh, this is gonna disrupt my day. But if it takes literally 2 minutes for you to do it, it's not gonna disrupt your day. You know that's an excuse, and it's small enough where you will do it and you'll be able to boop, check it off and get that sense of accomplishment. The only catch to this, the only thing I'm gonna ask from you on this one is that you do it every single day. Because if we're trying to build a habit, you can't do day in, day off, especially for something like 2 minutes. It's not gonna compound to something crazy. But if you're doing it consistently, then it will. And when reading a page for you, it's like, oh, okay, this is becoming like, it's not even challenging me. This is a bit too little. You see that you're out of the Goldilocks zone, so you up it up. Okay, instead now I'm gonna be doing 2 pages or 5 pages. And you work your way up there, but always keeping yourself aware as to where you are in this frame of it being too easy or too hard enough for you to hit it. All right, now let's talk about the bad habits. So if making it easy for your habits is decreasing the amount of steps that it takes for you to get there, killing off your bad habits, you wanna put as many steps as you possibly can in there between you and the bad habit. In this book, he talks about how he asked his assistant to reset his social media passwords every single Monday and only give him the password on Friday. So he has really no way of spending his time doing that during the week. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that's possible for me. I'm not gonna be doing all that. But what I did do about 2 weeks ago, and I was like, wow, I can't believe how much this actually works. I deleted my Instagram app on Sunday night. I was like, I don't want to spend the night scrolling. I don't want to spend my morning scrolling. I'll re-download it tomorrow. And then when I went to re-download it on Monday, for me to download it, I had to know my password, and I didn't know my Apple password. So that went on literally until Friday, because Apple's security system, let me tell you, is top notch. I did not realize it was such a process, but every day I was trying a little bit to get the forget password, and it was just like, ugh, I don't want to go through this whole process. I need to get my phone and my laptop and get my code from here. It was literally, I was like, it's too much. I don't want it that bad. And then on Friday, I was finally like, okay, give me my Instagram, give me my social media. I have earned it. But it just goes to show that truly, when you create barriers for yourself like this, it works. It works. Are you guys ready? We've been talking about how to build a habit, and now we're gonna talk about how to maintain one. So number 4 is making it satisfying. A lot of these tasks are practical, and you may have even heard of them before, but have you actually done them? So 1 is keeping track of your habits. 2 is writing it out, and it just, feels so good to check it off. But whatever works for you, something that you can see your habits every single day. I know some people have habit trackers for the month, and I think that's great. So you get to check it off and see how much you did at the end of the month. This is to make it obvious that this is the task that you want to do, and to remember what your goal was. One of the powerful things about checking things off wherever it is that you decide to do it is that you have streaks, and you don't want to break a streak. If you've been doing a habit for the past 10 days, you don't want to break it now. Like, you just want to keep on going, especially if it's an app and you're like, it's like, good job. You've done it every single day this week. You want to keep it up. We are bound to mess up on our habits, falling off on for a day or two. That is normal. The difference between who sticks with their habits and who doesn't is how you bounce back from these falls. If you really want to build that resiliency to continue on to live as the person you are envisioning yourself to be, never miss twice. That is his big rule. If you are going to miss a habit for one day, okay, that's fine. You forgot to do it, things happen, but don't miss twice, because then you're allowing yourself that it's okay to miss these habits. And if it's something that you stopped and decided that this is truly your goal, this is truly something you want to build on, stay true to it. And after you finish the habit that you've been wanting so hard to build, give yourself an immediate reward immediately after. Like the author says, do not spend any time from one to the other, get it. So if you're doing something that makes you feel good before the habit, you do the habit, and then something that makes you feel good afterwards, it's literally like a love machine for your body. You want to keep doing it. And you guys are gonna love how we deal with bad habits on this step. One of the ways of getting an accountability partner to keep you on track, but there's a twist. If you have an accountability partner and it doesn't always work, you guys aren't fully dedicated to it, there is a suggestion. One of the ways you can fix this is by having a habit contract. Now, this is actually a contract. This is a printed out, typed in, I hereby, your name, in something that you sign, like a legitimate contract that you have with yourself that you get your accountability partner to sign off on. Sign. Why? Because when you have something physical like this, and when you signed it and that person signed it, it makes it very real and legit, and breaking it is not just like you regularly breaking whatever habit that you do normally. It's kind of like, damn, I made a commitment, now I'm gonna have to tell that person if I didn't do it. And you can do this however you like. You can put in the clause of the contract, I will donate $25 to charity every time I miss this habit. Something that makes it fun, but also like, okay, this is serious. I take my life seriously, my habits seriously, and I really am committed to getting this done. Obviously, I wouldn't suggest this if you have like 5 habits you're trying to accomplish all at once, but if you have one that you are passionate about doing, I think this could be a great step in getting there. And that's a great way to show that if you want to build a habit, if you really want to build a habit, you're gonna get creative and you're gonna find a way, because there's a million ways to making it happen. It feels so good to see you actually achieving the goals you set for yourself, because it's not just a shift in habits, a shift in your daily routine, it is a shift in your identity. It's changing the course of who you are. And at the end of the year, by implementing these habits and really focusing in on them, you are going to have gained so much more knowledge, wisdom, and changed yourself in the inside out than you would have if you hadn't implemented these. My dog has joined us today. I don't know if you can see him. And he wants, what is that? Oh my gosh, like and subscribe to the videos. Okay, I'll let them know. If you like self-development content, make sure to follow me for more, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Love you.